You know something, y'all? Being single ain't so bad. I feel like there's a lot that we could learn about ourselves from being single. I feel like there's a lot we could learn to appreciate about ourselves being single. And this is not going to be a post, right, where you're going to see somebody always going to sit up there and hate on relationships. No, absolutely not. I think relationships are a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to be able to share experiences with other people. It's beautiful to have someone where you feel like, all right, this is, whether it be your other half or however it is that you view it, that is a beautiful thing. But if you're not there right now in your life, that is also a beautiful thing as well. And what I find is that a lot of times when people are in relationships, they tend to sometimes want to be single, right? So you're in a relationship and then something happens and you may feel as if, yo, you know what? The single life would be ideal right now for me in this situation. And then when you get to the point where now you become single, you start thinking to yourself, oh man, let me go find the next relationship, right? But I think once you get to that point where it's like you were in a relationship, not to say that you're not going to be able to find someone in the future at some point where you get to share healthy, great experiences with other people, at some point in the future, you may be able to find that, right? But as of right now, where you are in your life right now, learn to appreciate that. Learn to enjoy that. Learn to go travel, go different places. And if you can't travel international, that's cool as well. Travel locally, go to another state, do something different. See, just experience and get experience different things and get the love on yourself. Get to experience and appreciate yourself. And I think that's the element that's missing from a lot of people, right? Is that people tend to not appreciate where it is that they are right now. So if you are in a relationship, appreciate where you are right now in that relationship, right? If things aren't going so well, if you try to work it out and you feel like you've reached the end of your wits, right, so to speak, then maybe it's at that point where you guys kind of have to revise that or revisit that or work harder on building that, right? I can't make that decision for you, but if it just so happens that at this point in your life you happen to be single, that's okay. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's just the main thing for me. I just feel as if there are quite a bit of people that are often, right, they haven't healed from what it is that they've experienced, right? And then they get to the point where it's like, even though you haven't healed from your experience, you feel as if you absolutely need a new experience. You absolutely need a different experience. And in actuality, you don't really need that new experience right now. What you need right now is to appreciate where it is that you're at. What you need to do right now is explore precisely where it is that you are right now. And I'm not saying just because you're single, you can't get to learn and appreciate the opposite sex. You absolutely can. I was just hanging out with a young lady the other night, right? Drove across state lines. You understand what I'm saying? Drove across multiple bridges in a snowstorm, might I add, right? On Sunday, right? Pardon me, give me 1 second. Right? Drove across, I had to fix the AirPods that I have in my ear. Give me 1 second, sorry about that. But drove across multiple states, not multiple states, I'm sorry. Multiple bridges in order to get to a different state, right? In order to just hang out and just enjoy the companionship of the opposite sex. Enjoy the companionship of somebody that, you know, you just enjoy being in their presence, right? And I didn't know if I was going to enjoy being in this young lady's presence, but I did. I enjoyed the experience. And it's not one of those things where it's like you guys even have to knock boots, so to speak, right? But just being in that environment and that exchange of energy and that appreciation that you have for, that appreciation that you have for someone or that you have for the opposite sex. There's nothing wrong with exercising that, right? But at the same time, I just see it's in so many cases I see where people are in relationships and they absolutely are miserable. Absolutely miserable. And they still continue to persist even though they see it's like they're unable to really see and unable to really convince themselves, and they're not really seeing any the right type of effort from their partner, right? And sometimes themselves, and yet they still decide that they're going to be miserable together. And I think honestly, I think being single is actually better than, kind of putting yourself through that sort of turmoil where it's like you feel as if you have to be miserable with someone, right? I think that's something that people kind of have to just revise and kind of, just look at from a different angle. But yeah, it's, if you are single, great. If you're in a relationship, that's awesome too. But this video right now is going to be for those people. I'm sorry, it's kind of cold out here. You know what I mean? But this video is for those people who are single, right? And I'm just here to tell you that it's okay to be single. I'm here to tell you that you could sit there and you could love yourself, right? It's okay to love yourself. It is okay to be single. Yeah, and that's it. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys are single. Comment in the section below, in the comment section below. Let me know what your experience is. Let me know what you learned about being single. Let me know what you appreciate about being single. If you're in a relationship, let me know what you appreciate about being in a relationship. These are things that it's healthy for people to really kind of discuss those things from different angles, from opposing angles. Like, you're gonna have a group of people that are gonna have a different experience than you have, right? This is not something where it's just subjective, where it's just, my perspective is the only perspective. Everyone is going to look at things different. But for me, especially at the point where I'm at in my life, this is just how I see things. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't have a problem with being precisely where it is that I am right now. So, just learn to appreciate that. If you are single, enjoy being single, travel, go different places. If you can't afford to go somewhere international, it's cool, local, right? There's plenty of things happening around either your city. There's plenty of things happening around your state. There's plenty of things that you could, kind of just do, just indulge in, get to know yourself, get to find out about yourself, get to enjoy yourself. Like you're great too. And you know something? Once you do that, it's like you start to see, all right, cool. I know what my likes and my dislikes are. I know what I appreciate about myself. I know what I don't appreciate. I know what I won't tolerate, right? And I still have that basis where it's like, all right, cool. I've built up this sort of love for myself. This unconditional love that I have for myself, I've built it up. So it's like if I'm in a situation with someone, and of course you're going to love that person as you love yourself as well, you're going to, you take on your other half. But if you're in a situation like that where you feel as if there's some negative vibe happening or whatever it is, or there's a vibe shift, or that person is just not exactly who it is that you thought that person was, and that person is showing you certain red flags or certain characteristics that you never would actually even dream that you would ever see, it's okay. Like, you still can go back to being who you are, who you were, being single. You know what I mean? And it's okay. So it's just one of those things, man. I think it's eternally healthy once people start to learn to understand and love themselves and get to appreciate themselves and get to appreciate being single, and not just rely on other people or not just rely on another person or other people to bring you happiness, or feel or you feel as if you have to possess someone else. No, it's one of those things where it's like, if you find that person or you find those people, whatever it is, it's like you guys enjoy one another's company. You guys want to experience this, whether it be this period in time, or you want to experience this dimension, or you want to experience life together. I think those things are wonderful as well. But if you are at a place right now where you're single, ain't nothing wrong with that. Big up yourself for being single. Big up yourself for being able to hold down being single as well. And there's plenty that you could learn to love from that. There's plenty that you could learn to appreciate from that, right? And all in all, I'm just going to end this by saying this, right? Learn to love yourself, right? Learn to appreciate yourself. Learn to understand yourself. So that way, in the future, if you're able to get into a relationship, wonderful. right? You can bring an abundance of love to that relationship. You can bring a whole person, a person that actually healed, to that relationship. You can bring the best of you to that relationship, right? So, yeah, I think learn to love yourself, learn to understand yourself, learn to appreciate yourself. And that's all I got to say, guys. Thank you so much for tapping in, tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Cryptic Reasoning. Yeah. Big ups. One. Take care. Bye-bye.